Alex, because you have Hello, hello, Passion Air out there. Good to see you. Thursday night. Welcome home. Welcome online, or you are just watching the replay. I'm excited to be here with you. Passionaire are those who love what they do and do it very well for life. So that's a very simple thing. If you are one of them, or you want to be one of them, here is your place, your tribe, and hopefully we can help each other as we walk together. Tonight, we are going to talk about Gen Z. Okay. If you have a Gen Z at home, let me explain what that means. It's Generation Z. They generally speaking around 24, the oldest one, maybe 25, kind of borderline there. 23, they probably just 1 or 2 years out of college, all the way down to about 14 years old right now. So it's a Gen Z. It's there. They are there. My son is one of them. He is 17-year-old. So I kind of grew up with them. We work with them throughout pandemic, and this generation is very intriguing to me, not just because my son, Zach, part of it, but we have chance to work with many of them throughout pandemic and the past few years. So Generation Z has a very interesting, let's use one sentence to describe them, especially post-pandemic and going through pandemic. So if you are the parent, you have a Gen Z at home, I'm going to give you one sentence, 3 words, and you probably capture it. So this generation that's first, actually, they were born in digital era completely. Not like the generation ahead of them, we call them millennials, which is great generation. But they are kind of hybrid. They are half digital, half still, so when they grow up, they start to get website, get Facebook just came out. So that generation is kind of, they learn Facebook, but there's no TikTok, there's no Instagram, there's no Zoom, there was no, they said they have MySpace. Who know about MySpace right now? So if you know MySpace, you are millennials, okay? Gen Z, TikTok is definitely the digital era, digital generation, and it's their natural habitat, and it's like, so what that's really, it's a fundamental change for this generation, because they are really good at technology, and they start to get tons of information when they were younger, and their brains trained really by the virtual world, how to use cell phone, iPad, small stuff. They think computer is just this small, like in your hand. That's pretty much, they think that's what computer is. In my era, computers, sometimes we have to go to a mainframe. Anybody heard about the mainframe, and go there? So it's a very, very different. somebody say, yeah, mainframe, come on. And it's a very different era. So if you know about MySpace, come on, you don't know, you are not Gen Z, all right? So Gen Z is definitely get a lot of information when they start from when they're younger. And so for them to really, in a way, virtual world and the reality, they are kind of mingled, intertwined. And we have a coach said he learned programming on IBM punch card. All right, that's much older. Okay, if you have a punch card, sorry, get out of here. Okay? Punch card. So when you do computer, you can punch somebody. Yeah, I love it. Okay. So this generation, I love it. I'm not trying to just put like generations are a cool thing to be together, but I want to talk about Gen Z, because especially post-pandemic, how we have been working with them for the past two and a half years. Even before that, we have a lot of observations. I want to just bring that to you. If you're an educator, you are a parent, you are a minister, you are working with them, or you're just a big sister or brothers to them, you'll find this very, very different generations. And let me give you 3 words that, when you hang around them, give you 3 words will describe where they are right now. I wouldn't say everybody. That's kind of a key word for them. So hear this out. 3 words, English: expect, positive, pessimism. One more time. Expect positive pessimism. So, and that's an interesting word. That's what Gen Z is going through. One end, this is based on Barnard Lab, which is conduct over a nationwide survey. They collect data from different generations. They found, especially for Gen Z, this is very, very significant mentality or their mindset. Although they have a mindset to be successful, but they are they're very, very success-oriented, future-oriented. So because they know what success is from the digital world, they can have a lot of so-called role model. They can watch on TikTok, on different story, yet they don't necessarily have equal sounding optimism. That means they are pessimistic. Okay. So, but while member of this generation, this is from Barnard Lab, which we participate in their, called a lab that we work together. All the ministers, youth leaders, educators come together. We talk about how we face this generation. While the members of the generation are eager to achieve, quoted from Barnard Lab, many ground their drive in a healthy dose of reality. You see that? They are caught in between a rock and a hard place. So yes, they have that kind of talk and drive, but when they hit the reality, they back off. They ground themselves. With sights set on success, they are also wary of too lofty expectations. So, in other words, Barnard Group called it, which is, I'll give you the word, U shape. Okay, so they are in the bottom, caught in between a rock and a hard place. So one side of the U shape is they have a lofty expectation to themselves and to each other, because virtually on the digital world, they exist. People in their age already make millions of dollars, already know how to program all kinds of cool stuff, already design a game, already travel the world, already do all kinds of cool things. So they kind of know it virtually. But on the other hand, from the parent, from the generation ahead of them, and we would say, yeah, you would do good. It was just like, without knowing, we actually give them a lot of pressure. Like, yeah, now you have more technology in your hand. Now you have a more flexible college education system. You don't need SAT anymore to apply for college. Come on, the world, is open to you. So they get caught between these two places. So that's a U-shaped pressure. So and if you find that around the generation around you, do not be surprised. Okay, that's what we expect. And so I will give you something from PQ side of thing, which is very, very unique. So you will be shocked of what I'm going to talk to you about. So I mean, for them, Gen Z is very I have a lot of small story from them, very, very interesting, but I will go there. It will take the whole night. All right. So I want you to see this. There are two from our Passionaire group that we have data that we collect from you. When you answer a questionnaire, we benchmark against a global data set from Europe, from North America and Asia. So not just college age people, but leaders in different seasons of their life. So this data is global benchmarked. So in a way, it's not just how you feel about yourself, how you like, I'm a high family guy. Oh, I feel I can handle stress. That's great. The so-called lofty expectation. But at the same time, the data help you to have a reality check. How, when you step out of that virtual Zoom or online school, how you want to be able to engage and really go through life, the next phase. So this is for those who are Gen Z and you are ready to step out of that post-pandemic thing, or you don't know what to do, or parents, educators, to how to help them. So that's tonight. So I want to show you about 3 passions that we really think got hugely impacted by the pandemic. Overall, it's not just the virus itself, virus nothing to do with your passion, but the overall lockdown, the politics, the system, the like lock in the house with parents and for all like 2 years straight, everybody just talk and all that kind of stuff. So, and now put a mask on or not, vaccination or not, all these things going on, and school online. So, but this is from our own statistic, which is unique. Okay, I'll give you the first hand after 2 years that we coach hundreds of them through pandemic. So I want to give you two passions that after this global data that really get impacted. So the first one, it's not a surprise. I know most of coaches will know. Let me just show that here. The first one is on my right-hand side called tranquility. Now, this particular passion basically means that you don't have tranquility, that in your heart, somehow in you as a human being, you can't get enough of tranquility. That means whatever you have been experienced doesn't really guarantee your security, that you want to be looking for something, some place, environment, just to be tranquil. That means find a peace. Traditionally in psychology, this one is pure stress factor. But in the motivation science that we benchmark against, you could turn the stress around and become a motivation for you to get to the next place. Okay, so this is very tricky. Let me warn you, but very powerful passion. Like if the number is high, that means you have a great desire to change. But when you face a reality, you don't know how to do it. You don't want to do it. You actually will back off every time. So you will think you will go online, search for the next school to go, search for the next program you could get to. And then when the decision time comes, you will say, you back off. You will go back to the original state. So this one is really, as I described, the U-shape type of thing, kind of put you in that bottom of, again, between a rock and a hard place, or rock and a hard place, rock or a hard place. So that's a tranquility. Throughout pandemic, we found Gen Z in particular, the tranquility is just kind of jack up throughout this. So really that's one thing. The second, which is not a surprise again, which turned out to be pretty cool for Gen Z for a season before pandemic. But when the pandemic hit, this one just come up, is called acceptance on my left hand. What that means is they start really want to get accepted, not just virtually. Let me warn you, they are now seeking an opportunity back on the group. If they used to run cross country, try to find something that they could be accepted. But because of this, if they feel rejected, that lofty expectation could crash their spirit. So a lot of Gen Z, because they don't know how to handle the post or pandemic type of acceptance, used to be you go to school for a day, you will sneak into the cafeteria, run into one of two of your best friends. You can give each other a hug or just talk, have a funny humor, and all that, have a personal touch to let you feel I'm alive. I have someone who accepts me. And you could be lucky going to a classroom where your teacher give you some kind of encouragement. And you feel like, yeah, you could have that. But throughout pandemic, the lockdown and all this, just virtual, it's really, have you ever seen a bunch of Gen Z high schooler doing their physical education class on the Zoom? It's one of the funnest thing I've ever seen. It's so funny. I know people actually come up with a video replay. So every physical education, that person just put out a physical replay. So that person disappeared for 45 minutes. I won't mention that guy's name. Okay, very high tech. So it's one of the funny things that you can look at them. Used to be physical education. You can chit chat to get a little bit small talk. Right now, you don't have that chance. So you see all this little thing just contribute to this two major, passions that I would call another form of between the heart and the rock place. You see this, the hard place is the rock is like a tranquility. It's like a mountain ahead of you. You want to do something, but you want to, I don't have enough peace to make that decision. The second is the acceptance. That's a hard place because you want to get approval, but where, how? So those two are the main, I would say, statistically from our group, we found those are really, really a post-pandemic or pandemic-induced. There's a weight factor on top. Generally speaking, this is how the Gen Z will behave. Like they will talk positive. They will do all kind of online search for stuff, but never ever easy for them to make a decision. Okay, so it comes into a form of a prolonged procrastination. So today I'm so happy we have a passionate in person, no, virtually, but Jenny, I'll let her introduce herself. We'll bring her in, and I'll let her ask questions, and I will be Coach K and B. Can I be honest saying? Yeah, all right. Jenny, how are you?
Hi.
Hello.
Happy to be here.
Hey, you look good today, Jenny. I like, what do you have? This is Apple earphone? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, look very good on you.
Thanks.
All right. So we have coaches watching you on the sideline. No, don't relax. All right. Tonight is your night. Tell us a little bit about you. About, like, I know a lot about you, but I want you to tell us what you are willing to let the passionate out there know a little bit about you today. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm Jenny. I'm 22. I graduated college in May, but I've been living at home since then, working from home. And I work in like higher ed administration with the university I graduated from. But I recently committed to go to grad school in the fall in London to study management. My undergraduate major was it was called Human Development and Family Studies. It was kind of about like family systems, community systems, like very social service type work. And so I'm like kind of preparing to go to grad school and like save money. And I am quite like scared. And my tranquility and acceptance have both been like pretty high in the past. And so I definitely like resonate with like searching up a lot of things and like having dreams and plans for your future, but being really scared to go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Jenny is 22 and ready to go to UK to study, right? After staying from last May until now about a year at home.
It was actually longer because I came back my sophomore year of college from COVID. So I've been at home since March of 2020, so about 2 years.
Okay, so here we go. Let me talk to the passionate out there. Just wait for me a minute. Jenny has been in her home for living with parents and siblings for 3 years solid. Okay. And if you are out there, you have Gen Z like that, it's kind of normal right now. Okay. It's like, so for her to take a big step, I would call this a big step from home in the East Coast of the United States of America, where she grew up, even went to college, is 2.5 years, to really go for grad school in another country, which they speak a very different English. Coach Henry, would you unmute yourself? I want Coach Henry to talk British accent. I can't do it. So let's get you ready, Jenny. Like, okay, go ahead, Henry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Now you'll be forced to listen to a slightly different form of English. There are several accents that you may hear when you are in England. If you wander into the wrong part of London, you might come up with a Cockney accent where, like the Geico Gecko, somebody like that might. We had one we had one when we visited there the barge that goes up and down the Thames, giving you the tourist sites. They talked about all the things that was interesting up and down the river there, the Thames in London. And of course, my favorite is Winston Churchill, who is famous for a lot of things that he said, but one of my favorites is, I expect history to be very kind to me, so I intend to write it.
All right, thank you, Coach Henry. Welcome to London. All right, Jenny, I know you got into one of the London School of Economics or something, right? Wonderful school. Well, congratulations. But so I'm going to just thank you for, really being vulnerable with us in a way, because I have your data, and two data, one taking long time ago. And that in that data, you started with high tranquility. I may quote a number, so you guys know it's a huge difference. That data show a 1.46 tranquility out of 2, so it's really high up there. And then acceptance at that time is 0.72. So you definitely get caught in between a rock and a hard place. Okay, so that was then, right? And 2, 3 years, 4 years later, throughout pandemic, I think we talk about stuff, the PQ coaching and all that. Not just me, I think Coach Joy and your big sis as a PQ coach, as Coach Casey. So I know, and I think it's a collective work together, especially yourself. Folks, hear this one out. Post-pandemic, Jenny, the number right now. When did you take this one, the recent one?
I think 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. All right, so before she's going to a foreign country, listen to another form of English. No, I'm kidding, okay, all the British folks don't hate me, okay? You guys, I love how you sound, but I can't mimic that. And look at this number, all right? After 3 years or 4 years going through pandemic, staying home, didn't know what to do. Can I say that, Jenny, you didn't know what to do for a year or a solid year or a half, right?
Definitely, okay. Yeah, definitely.
We'll talk about that. We'll come back. So I want you to hear from you directly, but I want to show the passion there. Look at this number right now. Her tranquility number is minus 0.24. It's about in the middle. That's much more manageable. And let's talk about acceptance. It's minus 0.27. So both numbers through pandemic actually come lower. Now you say, Coach K, the PQs, the number is supposed to be not changing. Well, the profile doesn't change, but especially for people from preteen, teenager, and the first, maybe college, all the passion will start consolidate. That means each of your passion inside is trying to find its way out or its way in. So some of them grow a little bit, even flip size. So it's a wonderful time for Gen Z and out there for educators and parents. College and high school and college supposed to be not just to get a grade and get a degree and get a career. It's not like this. I hope this is the best moment for us to work as a team, that we can help young people, help them how they can manage their passion. So when their passion starts to consolidate, become an adult, their passion can really come down to a place where it's really give them a very solid ground to move forward. So Jenny, I'm coming back to you right now. Like, can you tell us the difference? Because your number, I don't know, maybe you are too good to beat our system, but I think that it's real. I look at you now. You made a decision, apply for it. Very, to me, it's almost, it doesn't look like a high tranquility person's decision. You know what I'm saying? So, and both of the number come down to a place. I feel it. I'll get your sister coming in a minute, okay? Because she will be real. She knows, you as a little sis and all that. So Casey, get ready, all right? Now, tell us the difference, because it's huge. I want people to know what's the difference. Tell us a little bit, your own way. Go ahead.
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I was really surprised to see the numbers that low because I think there are times when I still like feel high tranquility or feel high
Sometimes go
acceptance.
up. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and so, but I would say overall it's gone down. I don't know if it's gone down that much, but I would say for tranquility, I mean, a big thing that happened between then and now is that I got into grad school. And so that was a huge relief off my shoulders. And I think it, for a long time, like my tranquility and acceptance was tied to like whether or not I felt confident about myself and whether or not I was capable. But getting in for me was a big thing of like, oh, I can accept myself.
Yeah,
And
okay. So now we are
yeah,
kind of backtrack this. So you got accepted by this school, which is a little bit your dream school, right? We'll talk about that because when we set out
yeah,
in a coaching, the purpose to apply for grad school is not get a degree, get out, right? So I want to talk about that because folks out there, let me talk to the passionate out there, parents, educators, and Gen Z out there. When we really apply, we need to get out of the bubble from the pandemic. We have to stop this prolonged procrastination and move on. But this true passion can really get you stay in the same place without making decision. But Jenny somehow made some change. You can tell us what that is, but start applying for a school, which I want you to talk about your mentality, why you apply a foreign school, which you have to really a lot come against your tranquility acceptance. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. So when I graduated, I knew I'd be working from home for a while and I had a job for my internship. But I wasn't like, I wouldn't say I was particularly passionate about the job that I had. And then in November of last year, actually, Coach K, you coached me like kind of by accident. And you really encouraged me, just looking at my profile, to go and seek like independence and also adventure. And so for me at that time, it was something that I think deep down I really wanted. And in college, all throughout college, I made plans here and there to like move abroad after I graduate, like teach English or whatever. And so, but with the pandemic, obviously, like moving abroad was just not, it just felt like a closed door in a lot of ways. But it was still like a dream that I guess I had, and I really wanted to do it. And so, yeah, you really encouraged me. And then that week, I was like, I found the program that I am committed to now, and I opened my application that week. And I definitely all along the way, I could feel the tranquility, acceptance of like the fear of moving abroad, of picking up my life, all of that. But you also encouraged me to stick with it and to not let myself talk myself out of it, which I definitely came close to a lot. And
All
so,
right, hold on.
yeah,
Jenny, I don't see you every week, so I encourage you. I think I set the tone, but you encourage yourself or somebody else around you.
yeah,
Tell us how when you are applying for the school, folks. Listen to this. It's through pandemic to apply. Don't even know when pandemic going to end to apply for a foreign school. That's challenge your tranquility right there. And also a school, you feel if they could have rejected you, you know what I'm saying? It will jack up your acceptance further. So it's like, you know, they want me or they don't want me. You have the pedal on the flower. All the girls out there. He likes me or he love me or he doesn't love me. Don't go there. Okay. This is acceptance. Like he love me, he doesn't love me. Don't do that kind of stuff. But anyway, so tell me about how you encourage yourself when you apply this. All this true passion could just easily came out. How do you encourage yourself? I think that's most important. Yeah, not just
well,
me. I don't think I talk to you that often, but go ahead.
well, I definitely like relied on things you said when we talked that time. Like one thing you told me was that I should make like a higher power move in my life. And I think I was really desperate to feel like I had agency over my life. And so I would tell myself a lot that like you're just gonna do it and like make it happen to the extent that you can. And then like that itself I knew would make myself feel good. And even the week leading up to the decision, I was so nervous. And it definitely did feel like I was picking petals off a flower because I just didn't know what would
You
happen.
were doing like,
Yeah, I was like, God, will I get in? Will I be rejected? And I was preparing myself for that. But I have also felt really proud of myself for just applying. And it
so
definitely feels
you
really
think
good.
even a process applying become a job for you, or like a
Yeah.
purpose for that season, right? At least do
Yeah.
something instead of just pondering in your head. Like, wow,
Yeah, because
okay.
before then I had spent like hours just like looking up jobs that I would want or like experiences that I would want to have. And it is really frustrating to like have something that you want, but feel like A, you're not capable of doing it, or B, that that like you yourself don't have the guts to go for it. And so I think I just got to the place where I felt a little more desperate, and I just pushed myself to keep going. I guess I'm not sure. I also had like friends who really encouraged me along the way too.
Oh, a
That
friend.
was really good. Hmm.
Do I know her?
No, like my college friends, I talked with them on the phone about my plans, and they were all like, like said that they were excited for me, and they would like pray for me, and they would just like
Wow.
express, and they would just encourage me. And that was really, really helpful. And my family too, including Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean, thank you, Jenny, for sharing that. You see, for a person to be adult, one of the two things they have to manage the passion by taking some actions. Okay. So I want to show you another passion, which Jenny just say, oh, well, let me get those two. It's called power. It's too small, but that's okay. Jenny, somehow through pandemic, your power, somehow when you were doing the PQ first time 4 or 5 years ago, were minus, let me see, minus 1.77 out of minus 2. We call it very soft power. Like, I don't want to say anything. I want to be a supporter. I will go along with whatever other people said. But after coaching, after all this, what you did now, your power is still minus, but hey, minus 0.54. I like it. So that means you start to talking to yourself, and at the same time open up for a small group of friends that allow them to encourage you. At the same time, you start to be able to, I bet you start voice your opinion out more. I have no idea how. Yes, look at that. She smiled. I like it. I can see that. All right, I'll get your sister. Casey, get ready. I'll get you in because, well, I'll get your sister talking, older sister. I love it. I think the power is up. So let me talk with passion. All the people out there, from teenager to college and post-college is a golden window. Actually, one cycle for young people, especially young men and women, to pick up their power. So that means they have to own their, I'll put it this way, they have to verbalize what they want to do, at the same, speak out. At the same time, they are allowed to make decisions by their free will, that own up to their mistakes and start to learn from it. So power is very, very, power is not just grab the power, but power is a form of influence, a form of be able to really exercise their free will to do something. So Jenny, I think, can you give me a little bit, I don't know the insight, but what point you start to like just not talking or just thinking, but actually start doing the application? You have a moment like that?
You mean starting the application itself?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yeah, it was pretty much right after I talked to you, actually. It was that
They have
week.
to talk to me. So
Yeah.
okay, hold on. Really, seriously? That's what
Yeah.
it is. Okay.
It was
okay.
that week. I think I remember like 3 days later, I found the program and I was really excited about it. And I felt that it really fit like kind of things that you're going for. I mean, everything that you said was, I think, things that I was feeling on the inside, but I never could verbalize to someone. But yeah, that definitely really encouraged me, gave me the push. But like to finish the essays and all that, which took more time.
So you start right after when we have a coaching session. You feel like, yeah, pump up or something, right?
Yeah, like that. I remember that night I started looking for programs.
Oh, I remember that night too. That was a Thursday night stuff.
Yeah.
I coach you accidentally because you came into our Thursday night coach only huddle time.
Yeah.
And then we start talking about soft power, remember?
Yeah. That's exactly what it was about.
And we were like bombarding, like soft power people, wake up.
Definitely.
No, I'm sorry. Soft power people are lovely. Yeah, wow.
And I also want to say that like Casey was a really big encouragement to me. Like ever since she started doing the PQ, I would hear her talk about power and I could really feel that my power was like low. Well, I knew that from my results, but I knew that it wasn't the way I wanted to be. And Casey, I feel like I think she has like a very healthy level of power, and she's also been a really positive influence in my life. And so I don't know, just spending time with her the past 2 years, because we're both in the same house now, is like, I think really helped me because I hear her, the way that she voices her opinion. and I don't know, like a younger siblings just like want to copy their big sister. So I mean, my power is
younger sister. Yeah, okay.
my power is still quite low. Like even this weekend, I had a really bad haircut. It's okay now, and I was too scared to tell like the man who cut my hair that he hurt my feelings. And Casey wanted to like write a really mean Yelp review or just like write a Yelp review, but I was too scared to do it. So my power is definitely still like low, and I like feel it when I'm too scared to say something still. But yeah, it has gotten a little better. Yeah.
Well, a lot better. I can see that. Number one, I'm glad that now you just took action because, folks, Coach K, I have 2.0 power. I could help you, give you a temporary power, like, whoa, you know, but that probably rests on you for about 2-3 weeks. So if you don't do nothing, it's going to just, start to fade. And I'm glad you take action. And so I'm going to get your sister Casey in because Casey, I want Casey to talk because you see, PQ is more than just a one-on-one tool. PQ is the most powerful when you introduce this into as a cultural change, as a relationship changer into your proximity, sister, parent. When you have that, you just have a neutral language, talk about stuff. And that's the best way to really help the high acceptance, high tranquility. So Casey, are you ready? Casey out there.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but we'll bring you in. Are you ready? Spotlight you. You have a camera? No,
I do, but I needed to rest my eyes, so I'm outside, but I can put on the camera.
Okay,
Can you
I
even
like
see
this.
me?
No, it's okay. We have a very cool big sister coming. All right, here we go. All right.
Oh,
Casey, give us a little bit of now. Casey's walking outside. I love it. Hey, Casey, no, don't talk as a coach, as a big sis. Comments from you and feedback. Come on.
feedback.
On Jenny,
I think besides the acceptance, I think the tranquility was really important for Jenny to manage. I think she definitely picked up her power and did things to help manage that. And like, I think she was very coachable. So I think from the first coaching session that she had, she's been thinking a lot about her profile and how to manage the tranquility and the acceptance.
Hey,
I would say
give definition of coachable. I love it. I didn't say that, folks. It's young people
Yeah.
themselves saying, what does it mean? Like she's coachable. Go ahead.
I would define it as someone who, after the session, they go back and they really think about what was said, and they start coming up with even their own ideas about their profile, how they can manage some key passions, and who they really are. I think Jenny gave a lot of thought to that, and that helped her to manage the tranquility and the acceptance in the long run, because she started to notice when things were happening because of high tranquility or high acceptance, and then she would adjust.
Hey, I need an example. This is too vague. I want a real example. Like what kind of thing, Jacob, Jenny, your tranquility, what did you do? I want to know now. Any example?
Well, I think even the hairdresser example, the fact that she's able to say like, oh, it's because I'm high tranquility, so I wanted to avoid conflict. I didn't want to leave a review. I didn't want to say
That's right.
anything.
A peacemaker. Got you.
Yeah.
So she's, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
and I
cool.
think we also, both being home, talked a lot about like family dynamics. Like me and my mom can be a lot more intense about things, and then my sister and my dad are both very high tranquility, and they don't like to they don't like to stir up trouble. Me and my mom are more willing to do that if we want something. So I think it's been good to also be together as a family, and we've all done the PQ, and we can all kind of talk about our different motivations and why we act certain ways and stuff. So I think that also helped.
Do you think her power actually came up a little bit now? Because it's a big change compared to other things. Power is a huge change. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. One thing I would always tell her is like, it's normal to have things you don't like. It's normal to have things that make you angry, because growing up, she was always like the perfect child. She like never got upset with my parents, never had an argument with my parents, like not a single time that I can remember.
Hold on. Jenny, you never have an argument with your parent. How did you accomplish something like that? What did you do, or what did you not do?
I mean, it was really hard, but I think it was in my value system that it would be bad for me to speak back. And so that like kept me in check for a really long time. But it was really hard because I would still get hurt or angry.
Huh. Okay,
Yeah.
so
And
so when you get hurt is because you are let's call it you are obedient. Let's use that word, right? But inside you, there's still something bubble up, right? Acceptance.
yeah.
So, do you feel? How do you call that kind of condition? Is like you feel hurt, or you feel wounded, or you feel powerless? How do you describe it?
I think more hurt. And like I think I was just and I still like work on this, but I like get upset that my family doesn't see how hurt I am.
Okay.
I know my vengeance is like lower, so it's not that I want them to feel pain or like, but I want them to understand me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Jenny, to come out and say that, it's very good power thing. Okay. Now, when you go into relationship, all right. Now I'm talking about not just friends, but boyfriend, future husband.
I'm scared.
You're scared. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got you. This one going to be another chance for you to grow. So Casey, you are here too now. So we have a big sis here, Coach K here. So
Yep.
Jenny, I'm gonna ask you a very, very specific question. Okay. When you become a wife or just get into boy-girlfriend relationship, would you prefer to be very like supportive, don't have a voice type of girlfriend or wife, or you prefer to be more like, let me put it this way. It's -2 power, which you almost scored that. Now it's about neutral. It's not like me. Oh, but you want to actually be able to voice out your feeling and start to, which one you prefer? I have to ask that question because that's where the struggle will come in. That will apply to also your grad school and down the road career, because which I'm not sure where you really are right now into -2 power. Like, yeah, I'm supporting, or like, yeah, I'm going to speak up. Which one?
I want to be able to speak up, I think, when it matters to me. I don't really know if, like I do want to play a supportive role, I guess, if like the relationship called for that. But I think, well, I have a lot of like regret that I didn't speak up for myself more when I was younger. And so I don't want to like spend more time in that. And so I think especially with the romantic relationship, like that to me is like a whole nother level. Like I really want to make that work the best that I can. And so I feel like very willing to like, I don't know, I'm not in it, but I would hope that when I get there that I can be very vocal in like
So Jenny, this is,
nice
can I be
way.
honest moment? Are you ready for that? I'm jumping ahead. I know you
Okay.
want to talk about grad school and preparation for foreign school. We'll put that aside. All right. And you are 22. I'm not saying you should go for a boyfriend right now, but your boyfriend and future husband cannot be soft power man, period.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
definitely.
Are you okay with?
I have already decided that I cannot do that
Okay.
because I think it would just make me cry. I really couldn't handle that.
Okay. Cannot be soft power. There's no
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
No, you can't have two of you just like never talk about it. But
Yeah, that would annoy me, I think, at this point. Because
See?
I don't like soft power behavior. I know I'm totally that way, but I don't like it.
See, here we go. Oh, Jenny, thank you. So come out to
You're
this. Can I
welcome.
be honest a moment? Like, even though you are a soft-spoken, supportive minded woman,
Mhm.
you don't like that state, and you don't want your future spouse to be one in one, right? Hey, folks, listen, men out there. Okay, Jenny is not available. No, I'm kidding. No, unless you have enough power to practice, exercise your free will and express your opinion. We can help you how to manage that, but especially some of the young men out there. I have your data. I have your data. I have enough hundreds of young men's data in my hand. It's hard to find a lot of men are in the soft power. I don't, folks. If you are soft power, my wife is -2, shall we? But we married for 28 years, so we work out something pretty well, pretty good. So I can share that secret down the road. But Jenny, in your particular profile, your future man got to have some power. Good. I don't want to just marry a guy like quiet, supportive, smile, never talk. Everything's okay. No, no, and no. All right. You got to find someone that a little bit fiery, maybe not as mature as you want them, not well polished, but able to talk and communicate and show in his past. He pick up his free will, try something, even to a point made mistake. That's okay. Yeah, Jenny, you hear me out, right? I'm going to watch over you, not you, your future man. If he doesn't pass my power test, he's out.
I would appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. He's like, I'm watching you. He's out. Okay. So all the young men out there, you will be shocked how today's young ladies, women, they are looking for a true, a man who know how to manage their power. Okay, I'm not saying you should be like me, talking all the time, but that's not too good. You can talk to my wife. We have to work on that. I have to manage the too much power thing. But I prefer you start to work. What is power? Power is, look at Jenny. Still through pandemic in New York area, Connecticut or New York, where she started applying for a foreign school. Remember, Jenny, we talk about you want to use grad school not just for a degree or get a career out of it. It's actually to challenge your passion and start to get out of that kind of cocoon or something and start to do something your heart really want to do, right? Remember, to go back to the dreamer. Remember, we talked about the dream to really have that experience up and all that. Remember that, right? Yeah. So I'm glad, I'm encouraged. So let me go to that page. Just give me a second. So out of how to really help a person to break off the so-called procrastination stage, it's actually will come from this quadrant called dream quadrant. The dream quadrant basically mean not just to be dreamer, but Jenny, in your case, I see your number right now. Curiosity just bump up. Experience bump up. That means you want to ask why boldly. You want to really travel. That's part of why you apply to London. School in London. Beauty kind of came up too. Ideal didn't drop, but that's okay. Adventures go up. So eating kind of drop a little bit. So hey, you know what I mean? So I love it. It data in my hand. So I see that's where you start to. So folks, if this one, I want to go there to that the procrastination wheel. Let me go there. Give me 1 minute. In order, so let me just teach here a little bit. In order for a person to be able to start this healthy circle again, so a lot of people may come down to, we call it perfectionist or the warrior pose. That's where acceptance as well as tranquility are high, afraid of making any move, although they wanted it. So sometimes you have to really let that kind of season pass, which Jenny, I think you did, and start coming to this one. We call it dreamer. Okay. Dreamer means those quadrants to start to really come up again and then start to go in probably defier. I think you can tell about that. Maybe all your family supportive on this decision, or you are defier or no, I don't know. And then we'll be probably crisis maker going through grad school the first year, probably can be overdoer for the second year. I don't know yet. So then you will have a healthy development cycle going, hopefully in a year, 2-3 years, a prime experience that you feel all your quadrants start to come together, and all that. That's a hope for the grad school. Okay. So I am so glad to hear that. So Jenny, any other question? I'll let you ask question. I'll just take a sip of kombucha tonight. I don't have a coffee tonight. I have kombucha because I just feel bubbly, I don't know, healthy, and have the kick out of it. All right, Jenny, your time.
Yeah, I had questions about, because my curiosity went up, and I really like that passion and curiosity, and I want to satisfy it. But I realize that the program that I'm doing is very practical. And so I don't know if there's that much like space built in for like wondering and like theory and thoughts. And I also am thinking about, it's like a 2-year program, but I also am thinking about the types of like jobs that I want down the line. And
Okay.
so I was wondering if, like, looking at my profile, like what is a good approach to like a business education?
Wow, that's a lot of question packed in one. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, so now curiosity is a passion that you score high right now. Okay. And I love it. So are you a curious George? No. Are you curious, Jenny?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Do you ask questions? Why and why not?
I don't know about why, but I have curiosity about people. I think I want to understand them, and I want to hear about the work they do and things like that. Like I really like listening to podcasts and like just consuming information. But I don't know if the direct question that motivates that is maybe it's why, but I'm not consciously asking that in my head.
So what is the program you are going to from the London School of Economics? And
it's London Business School. It's not
London
LSE.
Business School. Wow. So it's a business. Wow, that's why it's very practical. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared about that though, because I'm not that, I've never had a very practical education. My undergrad education was very theoretical, and I like that about that. But I do want practical skills, and so that's kind of how I'm thinking
All right.
about
So
it.
it's a typical struggle, high curiosity person who all of your education so far is more abstract, more theory, more some kind of numbers, but business school is very practical. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So your question is, how do you balance this? Or can you just redefine
So
your question one more time? Like, what is that key question you have?
Well, I think it's just generally that I'm
Oh, the
worried
wrong
that
one. Sorry,
I'm worried. Oh, you're good. I'm worried that I'm going to get almost like burnt out on like the practicality of the program, and I'm scared my curiosity won't be satisfied. And so, I mean, but I know nothing really about business, so maybe I'll get there and really love it. But yeah, I don't know that I have a question, but I would like your ideas about like what that could mean for my profile, like certain experiences that I should look for.
Yeah. I think business school got many different aspects to it, many facets to it. People who go to business school, most of them are not very theoretical or abstract, type of thinkers, unless they go for economics type of degree or statistic for finance type of stuff. Most of them go there after 2 or 3 or 4 years of work experiences. Okay. But you will have foreign students go to London who, just like you, come out of college and stuff. So you do have a maybe 10-15% of people like that with much less workplace experience. So, and I wouldn't think you will struggle with this in grad school, especially business school. I think the one you will struggle would pretty much be Vingens, because
oh, interesting.
Yeah, because business school people are very competitive, most likely.
Oh, yeah, I'm not that
All right. So yeah, so for you, is probably where you'll get kind of culture shock into business school. This part, I'm totally sure you'll be fine. That you would perform very well in terms of coursework itself, taking exam, writing articles, but there are a lot of soft, like untangible, tangible, soft stuff that you need. Is like, are you willing to voice out your opinion? Are you willing to take a leadership in a group project? Are you willing, you know what I'm saying, the vengeance, like, are you willing to be competitive when you propose something in your small group? So that's, to me, this balance, I am not too worried because you probably get a straight A on the coursework. But business school, a lot of project, a lot of competition, like Shark Tank type of stuff, that you have to be out there. And because business world is ever changing. So one thing I might think you should kind of polish up a little bit is, I'm glad to see your vengeance going up, but not enough. So in a way, and your power go up. So that will help you ready for it. So let me put the business school stuff here. Let me go your business school. Yes, it's practical, but the vengeance will go up. Oh, the vengeance will go up and the power will go up. Most of them, so if in your class, you will be supportive and waiting for people to talk first, that will not be the best scenario. Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. So I want you to know that. Yeah. So it will be this two, I believe, that you have to kind of work on it intentionally, where I do see your producer quadrant go up. But so business school, the most culture shock you'll get is probably all your classmates are more like this too. Okay. And they could have status with them as well. Let's look at status number. Yeah, you're up there. So in a way, but you cannot be a quiet person in the class. Is that okay, Jenny? Are you willing to get this two up there?
Yeah, I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you may be better prepared for your future marriage. I would say your future husband should be a nice businessman like that. No, I'm kidding. No, this definitely kidding. I'm not predicting anything, but I want you to feel a sense of belonging but you will really outshine there by your curiosity. You will know more than most of the people in your class. You prepare, I'm not too worried about that. But this part, I think you should. And then, of course, your interdependence will help. But let me give you one more on the producer quadrant. A lot of business school people are very independent. So they could do the project without you. But can you do a project without them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I will say that my program is, all of the work is group work. Like you get put into these groups each semester, and all assignments are group work. And so
yeah, so that will, you know why business school emphasize group work? Because most of the business folks are not teamwork people.
Oh, gotcha.
You got it, right?
That's funny. Yeah,
that's why
sense.
they, look at all the businessmen I know. Some of them are very interdependent, but a lot of business people, especially entrepreneur and early in their career, want to be their own boss. And today, even so. So I want you to be able to know the difference, but don't take it personal. Does that make sense? Don't take it personal. You go out there. That's why you go to Square School, is how to manage these passions, which is a little bit different from who you are naturally. But I want you to be able to see, that's why I'm here with these people. I appreciate the personality. I don't get hurt or wounded, but I will be there playing that with them. Playing means on the level ground. I'll be out there. So every class you have to speak up. You have to be veering almost for leadership. You know what I'm saying? That's something will be most challenging to you. I'm not worried about the other two quadrants, not even A quadrant. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Good.
That's helpful.
All right. Any other questions?
How much time do we have?
We have about 10 minutes. Yeah. So we do have time. Go ahead. For you, yes, absolutely.
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I feel like generally very excited to go see London, but a little overwhelmed with all that. Like, well, I guess for my program, it's not an MBA. It's called a Master's in Management, and I think
Say
it's
again?
a degree.
What's the full
it's
name?
called a Master's in Management.
Okay.
And it's like, I guess it's like a European degree. So but the cohort is like very intentionally international. So there's only going to be like 3% of students who are actually from the UK. But it's a 2-year program. So the second year will be in Shanghai. And so I'm going to basically do a year in London and a year in Shanghai. And that's kind of what it is. And well, you kind of answered this question, but I was concerned that the business education would basically like squash my E-quadrant stuff and push me towards like, I don't know, like more administrative type things, you know? And so I guess my next question is like, what kind of like jobs do you think are like, I don't know, good for my profile that makes sense with business? Sorry if that's a bad question.
No, it's your question always packed. I love it.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, Jenny, after all this thing, so this is, can I be honest moment, okay, folks? I can't say this is not because I have the data. We have coached thousands of people, all the way from Gen Z, millennials, and Gen X and Gen Y, you name it, all the way to really, boomers generation. So, Jenny, even though it's a business school, I think it's to me, I don't want you to think about like it is as a school. Is that okay, Jenny? I don't want you to treat it like your college or like a high school girl go to college, get a degree, get a GPA out. I don't care about GPA.
Mm.
I have no interest in your GPA in grad school. What I'm interested is, can you try to, aside those 3 passions, like, can you try to work with this kind of people for 2 years? High power, high status, high vengeance, competitive. If you are able to really manage yourself in a foreign land, say London and Shanghai, work with very different cultural background people, that's part of your your adulting process. And then you are ready to get married.
Really?
I think so. No, I'm saying you should get married. I'm saying you should treat it more like a process for you to be who you are.
Okay. That
Makes sense. So when I say get married means you have that confidence in you, like, yeah, you belong. But I don't think you will get a business woman type of job. You will not be happy, Jenny. Makes sense. So this is probably the only 2-year window you put the name tag on you. I'm a businesswoman, pretend to be one. I'm joking. Just, what I'm saying, as for the sake of managing your producer quadrant, be there, feel a sense of belonging, even find a husband. Okay. Now I'm not start joking again. So, but this is, and then after that, most likely, I don't expect you to be a high power businesswoman type of mode. That will kill you. It's not going to happen. Jenny, don't pretend. Don't pretend. Never get converted.
I don't want to.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So the best you could do is to fight that off, but be bold for 2 years to try it out. This kind of mentality is very interesting. How do I call this kind of mentality in the American culture? Let me see. It's almost like you got to have this 2 years. You might as well just get it done when you are younger. You know what I'm saying? So you just go there, get exposed, and then you fall back to your own EI quadrant. That's who you are. That's teaching, that's education, that's corporate training, HR, and fall back there. Be happy, be Jenny. Okay, don't have to go out, be a businesswoman, on top of the world. No, let those women do it. High power women, let them do it. But you have confidence that even as an EI person, that means bring idea to people, work with people, not competitively, but bring that idea to people. But your boss, your colleague, may be the high producer type, and you have no fear. You're like, yeah, I know you guys. I work with you in a group. I was able to lead you in the business school, but I'm comfortably as a teacher, as a trainer, as a, whatever, So yeah, then you fall back to your comfort zone. That's okay. But this 2 years, it's step out of the comfort zone. Be there, out there with the producer people. Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be afraid of them. Okay, is that okay? Let them be them. Let you be you.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, I
Okay,
think
cool.
part of it was that I'm scared of becoming a corporate type person.
No, you
Just-
please don't
it's-
become one. I would not recognize you. You will never be one.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They like apparently in the fall they start recruiting like really heavily, and I don't know whether or not I want to participate in that because I don't know what I want to do, you know?
Who are
Like, so, like,
recruiting? Who are
They're
recruiting?
they're recruiting for jobs in the fall. When I get there, that's like when they start their recruitment cycle for like
No,
summer.
no, you don't have to. After you get this master degree, how old will you be?
24.
Take a gap year. I'm serious. Jenny, I want you to really, no, I'm serious. I want you to do this in the expedient, in the very E quadrant stuff.
I
I'm
have no
100%
money
sure.
though.
What?
I have no money.
Well, when I say, the business school recruitment is very producer quadrant.
Yeah.
So your job need to come really, that's where your faith, your community come in. I'm not saying you find a relaxing job. No, I am
Right.
saying you should take a very out of box thinker from the business school recruitment process. You should be in the process, but anybody help out? I don't know how to describe this. Like, let me use Jesus' word. You are in the world, but now you are of the world. You are
okay.
in the business school, but you are not off business. That's not going to change your
Right.
identity. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So you can be in a recruit process, but you don't have to be the hardcore business recruit process. You will find something people may not even have interest, but that's probably your sweet spot. That's what I'm trying to say. And do not be afraid of, Coach Henry said in the think tank, stuff to be high curiosity back again, to be a special assistant to a professor in business school, all kinds of things that you could do. All right. So I want you to be outside the box thinking. How many language you know? English?
A little bit of Chinese.
You had to pick up some Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
Or even third language that you got to come in from the soft skill to enhance where you are. Okay.
Okay.
So very important. All right. So this is, folks out there, this is real coaching. This is how we coach. Once we have data, that's where I know where a person is anchored. And then we start to add the doing, what to do. So that it's not just being, you have to have that prolonged period of time applying your talent based on your passion. When you come out, you'll be unique, but capable. Okay. You will be responsible, or you will have the responsibility, respond to ability. So Jenny, you need to practice the soft power, interpersonal, use a PQ skill, help people resolve conflict. Just even in the business school, be that integrator, be that person, practice this kind of stuff, and be you. And you have to pick up some soft skill. I prefer you have minimally fluent in Chinese in a year. You got to do that. All right, maybe pick up a little bit of something along the side, Any other thing? And this is good. This is very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other question you have?
I think that's it. The answer is actually a lot of my questions. So thank you. Yeah.
That's it. I thought,
Yeah.
good. I love it. Very good. So, hey, when will you be heading out to London?
Probably early August.
Early August. Woo.
Mhm.
Wow. So what are you going to do from now to August?
I'm actually leaving my job in end of May, but I'm gonna look for like a summer job so I can save some money. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with friends.
Your saving is so high. I heard
It
money
is.
already.
It
Now,
is.
I want to tell you this, Jenny. Your tranquility and saving have to decouple. All right. I'm not saying you should be like worry less about money. I love how, but I feel it's a bit too much now.
Okay.
I want you to be you just for a couple of months, but work on your older kind of get a little bit down there. You have really discipline about stuff, schedule. I mean, why the order is going so low, like -2 is my order. Welcome to Coach K side, the dark side. Okay, that's not good.
Mhm.
And you have to work on your odor. I'm not saying you should. I still enjoy -2 odor, but maybe an hour a day. But you have to pick up your odor somehow. Schedule,
Okay.
sleep pattern. Start to learn the language. You have how many months you have right now? Practice your Chinese. Maybe more important than a job. I'm serious.
Mm,
Exercise. I don't know. I have no idea. You have to kind of pick up your order right now. It's like you got to do it.
yeah.
That's another preparation you need. Okay. All right. Now, first, Jenny is motivated by usually when I start talking about minus order, if most of the parents start talking, pick up your order at the beginning of conversation, and the conversation will never go anywhere. I do it the last.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. But I think Jenny, you're probably more motivated this way because the order is going to submit to your other passion that you know how to work with.
Mm.
Wow, very cool. Any other thoughts? Could be in addition to a grad school, leaving this country to a new place.
I'm excited to go. I think I am a little sad about like friendships that I won't get to be like close to, but I'm still like very excited about going, I think.
Yeah, and start to have guys and girlfriends as right.
Yeah.
So
I have
go
no
out
guy
there.
friends.
I know you have guy friends, but
I know I don't have any guy friends.
oh, you don't have guy friends. Okay.
I'm not really.
Okay, now so add to your London trip in Shanghai, please have some guys friend as okay,
Okay.
not boyfriend. Have some guys friends in a group. Will you do that, Jenny?
Yes.
Do you know
I'll
to
try,
make that
yeah.
happen? Do you know to make that happen? Which passion is most crucial?
Low order.
No, for you to be able to start to kind of have to have guy friends. Okay, what's the
Mhm.
one important passion that's kind of play a key role? Do you know which one?
Power.
Yes, absolutely. No,
Okay.
I'm not asking you to go out there, hey, be my guy friend. No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
It never worked that. I'm not saying that, but I want you to be able to express yourself more, feel very natural about communicating, talking. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to be
Yeah.
the quiet one, the little sis in the group. Does that make sense, Jenny?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like today's mode is very good. Today's mode is good. It's like you are talking, you are expressing opinion and engaging. That's exactly how to get guys friends. Talk, please, all the girls out there. I'm not saying you should go after guys. No, I'm saying guys friends means just treat it naturally, neutrally, unassuming, be out there, and stop, and all right. Any other coach, you have anything you want to mention here for Jenny? We're going to miss her just in a couple of months. All right, Henry, I want to come in one more time with your British accent. I want to do one thing, like, let me put it this way. Yeah, okay. I want you to say something about London, like welcome her to London, something like that. I don't know. I want this to be part of the ending today. Jenny, I want you to know going foreign nation is not a small feat. It's I've been there, done that, coming from Taiwan to US, even though it's London and New York, I understand, but there will be a lot of cultural thing, that small thing you have to pick up. So, but I don't want your acceptance to be ahead of you. I don't want the tranquility to be ahead of you. I want you to have power ahead of you, but curiosity to learn, to study. But I want you to speak up everywhere you go. Okay. So, Henry, go ahead. Just welcome Jenny to London.
Welcome to London. Many of your experiences in the great nation of the United Kingdom will be quite special, or as we are prone to say, brilliant. You will find that many of your experiences in England will be brilliant. I suggest that you find one of those amusing little pamphlets that teach you how to speak the King's English, so that when people use words that don't mean quite the same thing in American English, will be quite prepared.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Hey, look at that's how I want you to smile like that, Jenny, and start engaging conversation.
Just remember that when you are making out your schedule, you will have to be certain to pronounce it correctly, particularly if you are speaking with someone in the military, perhaps a lieutenant, and not what you Americans would call a lieutenant.
All right. Okay. Henry, where to get you off this? I mean, you are too into this. I feel like I want to go to London this summer too.
I could be very at home in London, I believe. Yes.
Thank you, Henry, Coach Henry. So, Jenny, congratulations. I really feel I'm proud of you. That's really grow through pandemic, manage your tranquility and acceptance. And so I hope, all the people out there, especially parents, friends, sister, brothers, educators, Gen Z, those two passions are most likely something they struggle. So hopefully tonight give you a little bit of how we can really help them to manage it. And tonight give you an example how we have a 22-year-old girl, Jenny, manage these two passions throughout pandemic. All right. Thank you, Jenny. So
Thank you guys.
All right. Yeah. All right. Hey, passionaires out there. As a coach, this is where it's my reward, moment that to see people we work with in this community called Passionary really take a step, practice, manage their passion at the same time, start to be an adult, be going through a process that, wow, this is going to last a lifelong experience to go through prime. So I am seeing a girl now, Jenny, 22, willing to step out of comfort zone, make a decision, manage this true passion, and start walking to a place where I have to be honest, London is not the perfect ideal city, and business school is not an ideal place. If you are looking for ideal place, they don't exist. All right. So, but in the non-ideal world today, at least we have a sense of positivity. Let me get that, but it's not a positive thinking, but it's a sense of that we are able to, regardless how the world is going. Let me go somewhere where. Let me give you where it is here. Here. Oh, sorry, I have to find it somewhere. Just give me a minute. So, the positivity is never just you have a smooth ride. Positivity is about managing acceptance, manage tranquility. So that it's not from your heart. I feel so positive. I'm accepted, or I feel so peaceful. Positivity comes from your head. That means you are able to deal and manage your tranquility as well as your acceptance. And regardless how the environment is probably throwing something at you, you have to say, hey, I'm able to work on my own pace. At the same time, come across the aisle to work people who are opposite from me. For example, Jenny going to business school, which is definitely high power, high vengeance people. That's okay. And you have that positivity that I'm able to work with them. but I don't have to be like them. Okay. So in that sense, that's where me can turn into we. You can start to build a group work together. You can start to be fitting into a place and really be who you are. So I'm going to wrap up right now. Be fierce as you. That's what I mean. But at the same time, happily together. So that's every season we do. So hopefully people out there who are going through pandemic, especially have Gen Z or you are Gen Z yourself. I don't think you'll probably be watching us, but hey, hopefully you're watching us soon. But for those educator parents and big sister, big brothers, ministers, youth workers, and hey, we have to help our Gen Z. As I said, for now, expect their so-called, how do you call it? Let me define it again. Remember those 3 words for Gen Z? Expect what? Anybody remember? I don't even remember what I said. Just a second. Yeah. So remember what I say in Gen Z, 3 words, defining them. I don't know where it is. Here we go. Expect, positive, pessimism. Okay. So, but if we can help them manage those passions, we could turn it around and really give them a way out to work from inside out to deal with this kind of U-shaped pressure, or we call it caught between hard and a rock place. We can turn those rock and hard place, something positive. All right. So I'm glad to see you tonight. We all wish Jenny a wonderful, wonderful summer and then a trip to London. So if anybody want to visit her, lined up. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Have everybody has a great night. If you are able to subscribe our channel, we are not really public yet. We are trying to do within our community, but our Chinese channel on Monday morning, which is Asia Monday night, and our English channel is on Thursday night, Eastern time. So we have 2 channels. Hopefully, if you are able to, you are English speaking, subscribe this just for your Gen Z, for people around you. You can kind of get a little bit of today's thing and send it over to them. All right. Have a wonderful night tonight. Good night.